Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, your show of shows. You're going to learn a lot.
Find your wings. It's more than just a hashtag.
It's the power of knowledge in our state-of-the-art classrooms.
It's skills training for a competitive job market.
It's the best nursing program in the state.
It's home runs, buzzer beaters, and the thrill of victory.
And MCC walks it off.
It's not just a hashtag. How do I know? Because I found my wings.
And we have Mr. Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts, that's a famous actor. Eric Griffin,
yes, sir,
with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, you are our new commercial truck driving instructor.
Yes, sir. Okay,
and you said, we were talking earlier, and you said you've been here how long now?
I've been here since June last year. I started last summer in June.
How's everything going?
I'm loving it so far, man, because it gives me an opportunity to pass on the knowledge that I've learned over the past 11 years to new up-and-coming truck drivers. And I also see it kind of like a ministry to me, because I understand when they come into this program, they're looking for a life change, which is the same reason why I came into the program. So I can kind of relate to them a little more on that side.
Well, from what I understand, the truck driving program is going gangbusters, isn't it? I mean, y'all have a huge number of students.
Yes, we do.
I think each term is 8 weeks. Am I correct in that?
Each term is 8 weeks, and we were having 8 students every 8 weeks, but now we currently have 14 students in the program at this time. I think for the summer we will probably have 12 more than likely. And that's because of the law that changed on February 7th, requiring you to come to truck driving school if you're going to get a Class A or Class B CDL license.
Okay. Now, and also my understanding just from watching the news and things like that, the demand for truck drivers is enormous at this point. Am I correct?
Yes, it's always been a huge demand for truck drivers. I mean, one of the main reasons why I got into it was you'll always need somebody that can drive a truck. And one of the biggest changes that are going to help us, that's going to be better for us as far as being a truck driving school, will be for your church buses. So anybody that's going to drive a church bus that's over a 16-passenger van is going to have to come to a school now.
Okay. Now that was a recent change in the law?
Yes, it was a recent change in the law. They said to get a Class B CDL with a passion endorsement, you will have to go to truck driving school now.
Now you said you've been a truck driver for how long?
11 years.
Okay. What drew you to truck driving?
My father drove for 40 years. All my uncles drove, so I had been around it my whole life. So I knew that was what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. So
as soon as you graduated high school, you went to truck driving school?
No, I didn't. I went to college first. I went to Jackson State first, and then got married. I got my CDL at 29 years old.
Okay, so you tried a few other things first.
Yeah, but I knew what I wanted to do, so I just didn't know how to go about doing it.
You went this way and that way for a little bit,
that's right.
And then decided, hey, did it immediately once you started, you knew this is what I want to do?
Yes, I knew this is what I wanted. That's why I love what I do.
Okay.
For me, as long as I got some music in the highway, I'm good. That's all I need.
Now, did you used to go on like the long haul, where you would go overnight? So?
Well, I've been local the whole entire time I've been driving, but I hauled heavy equipment for 8 years, so there basically isn't anywhere in Mississippi I haven't touched, or Alabama either.
Okay.
I've been a whole lot of places, and you get a lot of drive time in between that time. So yes, you can say long haul, but as far as over the road where I had to stay overnight, no.
Okay. And because I know that would probably be very difficult with a family if you know.
Yeah, it is. But as long as you have the support, like say if you have a wife and you have kids, if she's got the support system that can help her while you're out on the road, it could work. But if she doesn't have that support system, then you need to try to stay local.
Well, if you have a student, or if we have students, or someone is just watching television and they want to make a change in their lives, And what qualities do you think someone should have that might make them a good truck driver? They're sitting around and they don't know what they need. They want to do something, they want to make a change, but they don't know what they should go into. And maybe a commercial for truck driving. What kind of qualities does a student need to have to do well in that program?
Number
if you don't mind me asking?
Number one, you've got to be the type of person that likes to drive.
Okay.
Because
so driving is number one.
Yeah, your office is the truck and the highway.
Okay.
That's your office. So you've got to be able to, you got to like to drive. You got to understand that you're going to be on the highway a lot. Number one. Number two, you got to be a person that can think quickly. You got to be able to think critical thinking.
Okay.
Because sometimes there'll be some situations to where you're going to have to figure out what's the best way to get out of this situation without damaging anything.
Okay.
So you got to be able to think critically. So you got to be a pretty sharp individual in a sense, because you got to stay safe. You got to make sure, because everything you do can hurt yourself or someone else. So you got to make sure you can think critically, you can think quickly, and you're always paying attention. You got to stay alert at all times.
Okay. Okay. Now, for someone to get into our truck driving program, do they have to take any prerequisites, any classes before they get in the program?
No, you don't have to take any prerequisites, but we do ask that you go and get your Class A CDL permit or Class B CDL permit before entering into the program.
And how do you go about doing that?
You have to go by the DMV and purchase a CDL manual. You can either purchase a hard copy or a digital copy, and that's $3.
Okay.
And then you would study the general knowledge, the air brakes, and combination vehicle parts of that book to obtain your Class A CDL.
Okay, so you have to take, it's like you take a test.
Yeah,
almost like when you got your permit for driving.
Yes, you take a written test to get your permit.
Okay.
Once you get your permit, then you come to school with us, get into our program.
Okay.
Once you meet all the requirements for our program, you've done all your online classwork, and you're proficient at driving the truck, we give you your CDL test. If you pass your CDL test, you get your Class A license.
And most of the time, I think we have a very high percentage of students who pass the test on the first try.
Yes, we do, because you have 8 weeks to practice.
Okay.
You have 8 weeks to practice driving that truck, back on maneuvers, and what we call a pre-trip inspection. So within that 8 weeks, if you can't pass, that means you just didn't put forth the effort.
So this for in an 8-week period, when I say you can truly change your life for the better. Yes. You can get your CDL license, and truck driver, they're making pretty good money.
Yes, you can go from making $0 to $1,200 a week, just like that.
Can
Easily.
I do that?
Sure. Sure. Come see us.
Can I do that?
Sure, come see us. Okay. That's why I say it's a life change, because you go from making $0 to minimum wage to $1,200 to $1,300 a week. Just like that.
Wow. That is definitely life-changing.
Yes.
Are you seeing, I mean, this is not just a job for men anymore either, am I correct?
No, it's not.
We're seeing a job, and it never really was, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Our idea of what a truck driver is has always been, okay, here are these guys out doing it, but more and more women are coming into truck driving as well, right?
Actually, there have always been a lot of women that drove commercially. It just wasn't highlighted as much.
Okay.
But now you're seeing a whole lot more, because like we currently have 4 women in class now.
Okay. And so each 8 weeks you can take up to 12 students.
Yes.
And so before I think I was talking to one of the advisors, and they said that there is a waiting list.
Yes.
So that is excellent.
Yes, sir. There's always a waiting list. Class is always full.
Thank you so much for being on the show today and talking about this. I want to have you back on it and talk about it a little bit more once you've been here a little bit longer, but congratulations.
Works for me, just let me know.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first, while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we have Miss Lori Smith on the show today. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well as well.
Good.
You are officially the Dean of Workforce Education.
Yes.
Okay. And that we were just talking before the cameras went on about how long we've each been
Okay.
here. But you've officially been here at Meridian Community College since 2014. Okay. Now, what exactly do you do as Dean of Workforce Education?
So a lot of people get my title confused with the non-credit side of the house,
Yes.
which is Workforce Grants and Development. And so what I do, I'm the Career and Technical Education Dean.
Okay.
So I'm over 3 of the 5 divisions that we have under the umbrella of Career and Technical Education. So I'm over the Business Division, the Industrial Division, where Eric is under in truck driving, and I'm also over Emergency Services, which is the paramedic and fire science programs.
Okay. And so what you do within those programs is what, if you don't mind me asking?
So I support the instructors.
Okay.
Make sure that they have everything that they need, that everything's running smoothly, that their curriculums are organized, that they have all of their resources and educational materials that they need, that they're getting everything that everyone else asks of them done, and how I can support them in that. I'm also kind of a curriculum specialist, so about every 3 years we do a curriculum rewrite on the state level, and so I'm a part of that, and I make sure that our instructors are a part of that, where we give feedback and we make those needed changes that industry is asking for.
And that, as you said, that is every 3 years. This is to keep us up to date
Yes.
with what's going on out in the real world.
Definitely. So we also include industry leaders as a part of that curriculum rewrite. We have a committee. It's made up of the instructors that teach that curriculum across the state, their administrators, and industry leaders in our area that can look at that curriculum and let us know that we can do away with certain things and we can add certain things because industry demands it and technology has changed.
And that is ongoing.
It is. It is. So we have a lot of programs under these divisions. We have 36 degree programs.
Oh my, okay.
Within those 5 divisions, we have nursing, health ed division. Those are 2 separate divisions, and then the 3 divisions that I just named, business, industrial, and emergency services. Of those 5 divisions, we have 36 degree programs, and of those programs, we have 71 different pathways, or what we call exit points, where you can get a 15 or a 30-hour certificate or a 45-hour technical certificate or a 2-year Associates of Applied Science.
Okay, so you can, for most of those or many of those, if a person could stop after 15 hours and they'd
We
get
have a few that stop out at
okay.
15. Our truck driving is a
Right.
is a 15-hour, 16-hour, 1 semester program.
Okay.
We have a lineman program that's currently non-credit, but we are moving it to credit, and it'll be a 22-hour, 1 semester program at that
Okay.
point. We're hoping to start it in January of next year as a 4 credit. Right now it is non-credit. Our health care administration program is also a 1 semester, and I believe it's around 15 to 16 hours. The rest of them have a 1-year, 30-hour exit point, which is our certificate program, and then they could go on for another semester, 15 hours, and get their technical, and then they could go and get their 15 hours of academic classes and get their Associates of Applied Science. But many of our programs embed those academics within the 2 years that they
Right.
could get the applied science degree.
Do you recommend for students when they're in these programs to get like the 15, to get that certificate at 15, to get that certificate at 30? Or do you, I mean, I'm just wondering, if the possibility is there, because I heard before, like if you have a 2-year degree, you make sure you get, you graduate and get that degree from your 2-year university and then from your 4-year
Right.
and then from your master's. Is it almost, is there a similarity in getting like a 15-hour certificate, 30, 45, and then the 2-year?
Certainly, it's important to hit those milestones. I'm of the personal opinion that when I recruit a student, I want them to get that AAS,
Right.
to ultimately get
I am
that
too.
2-year degree. And
Right.
that's why a lot of our programs embed those academic classes in every semester that student is taking courses in that program, because it's leading them to that AAS degree. And so we don't wait for those academics. In many of our programs, we don't wait for those academics to be in the last semester. We embed them.
Right.
But life happens, and
Yes.
we know students come to us a lot and say, hey, life is happening to me, I've got to stop for a little while, I may need to leave. Then we look and see where they're at. And if they have that 30 hours, if they're ready to get that certificate, then we award them that certificate so they at least leave here with a degree, certificate where they can use and go out and get that job.
And it might help them boost their salary a little bit, with
Definitely.
having that certificate. Not as
Definitely.
much as the AA degree would,
Right.
but having that certificate would.
Right,
Okay.
and we know that many of our four-year universities now have the Bachelors of Applied Science, where they are allowing those credits to be transcripted over, to them. We call our programs terminal degrees because they're designed to get the AAS and go out and get jobs. And so we don't necessarily transfer those credits, but they are allowed to. They are allowed to say what credits they'll transfer and what credits they won't. And many of those are transferring or they're allowing those to be transferred because of the new Bachelors of Applied Science. So if a student has an AAS, we have a bridge program, especially with like Mississippi State Meridian, where anyone with an AAS degree can go over and they will design an interdisciplinary program for them where they take a good many of their credits. But again, that's up to the university. We don't
Right.
have anything to do with that.
Well, if a student they're in a minimum wage job and they've been working at it and they don't see any advancement and they want to make a change, but you're looking at nursing, industrial maintenance, or emergency services. How would you recommend they make a decision on what to go into? What do you think what are the factors that they should think about?
Well, we look at what their interests are, what they think
Like if you can't handle blood, don't go into nursing.
Don't go into nursing.
That's
Don't
why
go
I'm
into
not.
health ed. Right. Don't do it. So we do ask them a lot of questions. We have wonderful counselors that are specific advisors for health ed, nursing, and our career and technical programs. And so they sit down with them and ask them a lot of questions. What are you interested in? How long do you think you want to be in college? Those exit points, for example, our EMT Basic, which is our starter program for that works towards paramedic, is a one-semester program. And once they get the EMT Basic, they can go out and be drivers and assist the paramedics when they go out on calls. But some of them may want to further that education and go on and get their paramedic degree. So sometimes they want to just immerse themselves completely in the program and go straight from EMT Basic to paramedic. So it really just depends on their desire, their future goals, and what kind of earning potential they want to have. It also, we do have requirements for some of our programs in terms of what they have to have on their ACT or their AccuPlacer. So those
prerequisite classes.
prerequisites.
Okay.
So that has a lot to do with it too. But we try to guide them in the right direction that will be the best, fit for them. So.
Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today, and I want to have you back because I want to talk about this some more. This is, we have so many great programs here.
We do.
We have so many avenues to have a better life. And
That's
I want people to get out there and as much as possible to get here and begin their new life.
That's right. We want to encourage everyone to come out, tour, and get to know our programs.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we have the wonderful Miss Mandy Hurtt back with us today.
Thank
How are
you.
you today?
I'm doing great. You doing all right?
I am. The weather is beautiful.
It is.
After so much rain, it's just a pleasure. But of course, we're in the dark, dank basement. Now, Mandy, you are the lead recruiting coordinator.
I am.
Here at Meridian Community College. Now, what does that mean? What exactly do you do?
So I help recruit.
You have a lot of hats.
I help recruit for MCC, and then also we have about 26 Ivy League recruiters that also help us, and so I oversee them and make sure that we're on track and we're trying to do everything we can to
Now,
get
the Ivy League
students here.
recruiters, these are the students who, they go here and they help with taking prospective
Tours.
students around,
Yes.
touring the campus, things like that. But you also do that.
Yes, I actually have somebody at 10:30 coming.
She is
he
not
actually-
one that just delegates stuff. She actually gets in there and does it.
Well, this gentleman actually is thinking about going back to school after finishing up in town at a different job, and so I definitely like to try and get them where they want to go, who they
Sure.
need to talk to, and especially older students that are thinking about coming back. So
I have always said, and I think this is in everybody's life, that sometimes you go to sleep for a period of time, and then there are those moments when you wake up. And you wake up and you look around you and you're like, okay, the couple of questions that you're like, how did I get here?
Right.
And then how did I get out of here? And education
Exactly.
is your best way to change your life.
It is, and we have various programs that
gosh.
A lot of people don't know about, and especially if they can't decide. Like that gentleman that's coming to see me later today, 3 or 4 different programs he's interested in, and the best way to do that is to come to campus, come talk
Look
to
around.
those coordinators, find out more what that program entails, and then also we have advisors. Find out what you would need to take, how long it would take, that sort of thing, so you can know all the information that you need before stepping foot into working towards that program or a different avenue.
Now, you've been here at MCC how long now?
Almost 2 years.
2 years. Was it what you thought it would be?
It's everything more. I mean, I went here and I loved it, and so it was really just like coming home. And so people, students, I just enjoy helping people, and so
And we are truly a family. I think.
We really are, and so I've loved every minute of it. I really do. I look forward to my Mondays just as much as I look forward to Fridays.
There are some moments, I will say, but I'm the same way. I still love what I do. I love what I do, and to me, it's not work.
It's not.
And I don't, as long as it keeps like that, that's how I'm going to keep plugging along. One other thing that we're involved in, if you don't mind me adding to, is a laptop loaner program.
Yes.
That and I don't remember who initiated that. Was it you that initiated the whole program? Or?
It wasn't me.
Okay.
It came.
I can't blame you.
Well, it came down the line from Joseph.
Okay.
So
Our vice president. Okay.
Yes, Miss Joseph Knight, and so I'm a part of a committee, and so a lot of times we have students that don't have access to a laptop that they need to bring it. Use it at home.
And we'll say that, if you don't mind me, I think this came about during the pandemic.
Yes.
When we were doing more online.
Correct.
And we noticed a need.
Yes.
That there were a number of students that the only way they had to get online was their phones, and sometimes
you can't
things just aren't, they don't connect well.
Right.
And they don't do well on the phone.
Exactly.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
you.
and that I was actually I actually started working at MCC towards the end of the pandemic.
Right.
So of in 20, well, I say end, but mid part of 2020. So when they realized that was a need, we jumped on it. And so any way that we can help students with having access to laptops.
And so they just contact you.
Yes, so I do have some instructors that do know about it along with advisors, and so I ask them to come see me, and I usually tell them what it entails, and they do have to fill out an application or form, and so I send them that link, and I ask them whenever they have finished that form and submitted it to email me back and let me know, 1, it has been submitted, and 2, their MCC ID. So if they are approved, we can go ahead and start working on the paperwork and fast track that, so it would already be ready for them.
Right.
It does ask some questions on that application. For example, if you happen to have a device at your house already, because that is important to know. If you already have a computer, you're not eligible for it. So there is a vetting process process. However, you know, you can't do your homework on your phone, and so we do understand that. So it either approves you or and actually it goes through the committee and that sort of thing. Usually we have on there it takes about 5 days, but we generally try and fast track that so they don't get behind in classes.
You have literally done it within a day,
yes,
if needed, and
yes.
because there were some students who were like, "I've got to take a test,
right?
I need this right now."
Exactly.
And we started out. I think we've got 20 computers, and 18 are out. 18 have been loaned out, so they are being used.
They are.
And also, I believe that a hold goes on their account.
Yes, it does.
You know, until the computer is returned.
Yes, and I usually let them know that day. It's do it a couple days before graduation, that sort of thing, so they can go ahead after finals and get it turned in and that sort of thing. So then that hold would be released.
Okay.
I have had a concern from a student asking, well, if there's a hold on my account, will I not get my you know, any kind of money, that sort of thing. And as far as I know, there's not an issue with that, but as long as you return it by that date.
Right.
And then also, I just want to point out too, I have had some students that signed up for online classes, and you can't take 100% online classes and not have a laptop. So going into that, you need to know that these laptops are generally for students that are on campus, that sort of thing. So you can't take a full load of online classes and then come looking for a laptop.
I mean, these are some things you need to kind of think about.
Right. Well, and we
beforehand.
do have the Success Center too for students. So if they absolutely need something, we do have that available as well.
And we, you know, we our hours, we try to be here as much. We've got plenty of computers in there should they need them. So there are many different avenues.
Exactly.
Have you ever had where you're touring someone around and you know the minute that you know they're going to come here?
Yes.
Isn't that the best feeling in the world?
It
because
really
you
is.
know that we're going to be able to help them.
Yeah, and you know, even being from Meridian or that sort of thing, and they may not know everything that we offer here. And so when they're on that tour and they're finding out what we're all about, and especially the people, I've had more potential students come through and say just the people here are just wonderful. Good. So it's good to hear.
I'm so glad that you're now part of this family.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for being here. I know we're going to have you on again because
Sure.
I'd love to have
Anytime.
you on, and appreciate you.
Real quick, if you don't mind,
sorry.
if anybody, instructor or anybody has a student that does need a laptop, please email me or give me a call. My email address is mhurt1@meridiancc.edu, and my phone number is 601-484-8819.
Lots of resources if you take advantage of them.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
On behalf of executive producer Matt Milner, media specialist Josh Taylor, and student producer Taryn Dumas, thank you for watching. Hope you learned just a little bit. See you next week.